Adjust to speaking normally. Chapter 4. System. Deposit. Must marry. If that's the case, it might bring you some trouble, right? Ji Yu Chang'e, upon hearing this, was a bit surprised by the other party's idea, but still spoke very rationally. Since the other party had such restrictions in their cultivation technique, Ji Yu Chang'e worried that their sect's visit to call off the marriage might be for this reason. If they were to marry, it could be difficult to explain to her sect. I can solve these troubles. Furthermore, this soul-shaping pill is to repay the kindness your family showed to my mother. Whether we marry or not, I will give you the soul-shaping pill. This should be enough to set you on the path of cultivation, but that's all it can do, given your root bone. Lu Qingqing heard that the other side did not immediately agree with excitement and was actually worried about her problems, which made her think even more highly of them. Originally planning to give the soul-shaping pill at the very end, she no longer hid it and straightforwardly took out the jade bottle from her bosom and handed it over. The soul-shaping pill sounds a bit familiar. Ji Yu Chang'e instinctively reached out to take it. The jade bottle still had some residual warmth, and a faint unique fragrance lingered. He felt he had heard the name of this elixir somewhere before, perhaps from his third uncle. Wasn't it his intention to save up for a soul-shaping pill so that he could begin cultivation? Hiss. Then this elixir must be incredibly valuable. Given his third uncle's salary in the family, it would take about 20 years to save up, just barely. It goes without saying, this elixir was definitely not something Lu Qingqing could afford to own. The sect awards it. Every saintess contender gets one, Lu Qingqing said nonchalantly. Consider this. Elixir is a way to repay the past kindness. It might not clear the debt, but it's something. Now that I've repaid the kindness, why should there be any fuss over the marriage contract? Ji Yu Chang'e raised his eyebrows, now unsure of the girl's thoughts. Kindness is kindness, feelings are feelings. It's only right to repay a kindness. Since the marriage was agreed upon in the past, this commitment has nothing to do with repaying a kindness. It all depends on whether you are willing to marry me. If you do not wish to marry, I will do my best to shield you from the gossip. As for the marriage, there will also be some troubles, like some very annoying fellows. At this point, Lu Qingqing spoke. With clear eyes, having shed the distant demeanor she typically held, now seeming more like the 18-year-old she should be. Hearing her words, Ji Yu Chang'e suddenly froze. But it was not Lu Qingqing's words that startled him. Following that, he struggled to manage his expression. An undeniable joy overtook him. Even when receiving the soul-shaping pill, he had not shown such a reaction, causing the puzzled Lu Qingqing opposite him to furrow her brows, wondering what was wrong with him. At this moment, the most beautiful celestial music rang in Ji Yu Chang'e's mind, even though it was just an emotionless prompt. System activation condition triggered. Agree to become Taoist. Couple with her, and the host may share her cultivation results without any side effects. Marriage. We must marry. Do you know how I've lived these 18 years? Without any hesitation, he had waited too long for this moment. It turned out he wasn't without a cheat, he just wasn't using it correctly. At this moment, he only regretted why he had remained chaste for 18 years. Overcome with excitement, Ji Yu Chang'e's eyes even began to redden. Plus, the way he shouted made Lu Qingqing across from him open her mouth slightly, somewhat at a loss. What's happening? What's going on? Be calm. Since you're willing to marry, I naturally won't deceive you. But after we marry, I will have to return to the heavenly cold sect and won't stay long with the Ji Yu family. Of course, once the dust settles on the saintess position, my current cultivation technique's flaw of being unable to consummate the marriage will no longer exist. Lu Qingqing was startled by his sudden reaction and quickly began to comfort him, but whenever she mentioned her own cultivation technique's flaw, she felt both a sense of guilt and embarrassment. However, it was indeed an important matter that had to be made clear to avoid any misunderstandings. I am very calm. This marriage will not be called off. Ji Yu Chang'e took several deep breaths. At this moment, he absolutely wouldn't let go of this opportunity. If he missed today and tried to marry someone else next time without this chance to activate his system, he would indeed regret it until death. Furthermore, Lu Qingqing, standing before him, was impeccable in both appearance and figure. Even during their brief interaction, he could feel that Lu Qingqing was not as cold as she appeared in front of others, but rather unexpectedly affectionate, kinda real treasure of a girl. If he couldn't cultivate, just as she said, he'd face pressure after marriage, and those annoying guys were indeed her suitors, but none of that mattered anymore. He didn't need to pretend to be strong in the future. His strength, his system had arrived. Oh, okay, since you've made up your mind, let's then inform Grandpa Ji Yuan, the others about the decision. As for persuading the sect elders, I'll handle that. Lu Qingqing always felt that Ji Yu Changge in front of her had suddenly become a bit strange, but she couldn't figure out what exactly had changed. Regardless, she had long decided on her own resolution, and there was nothing left for her to agonize over. Before meeting Ji Yu Changge, she had been slightly worried, but after meeting him, she had no worries at all. Aside from not being able to cultivate, he was pretty good. Outside the council hall at this moment, due to the isolation array, everyone was completely unaware of the two's situation, although it would be easy for Ji Yu Zan, an 8th grade heavenly gate realm, to peer into everything within the array. He was not the type to eavesdrop on the younger generation's conversations. The heavenly cold sect, being in the Ji Yu family, naturally wouldn't act rashly, and despite having heavenly gate realm elders, they also refrained from spying on the two's discussion and situation. As more time passed, both parties grew increasingly restless, until one of the heavenly cold sect disciples thought of something and couldn't help but spit disdainfully. This act virtually lit the fuse. The Ji Yu family elders remained silent, but the younger generation couldn't stand it anymore. They had already heard that these visitors were here to call off a marriage, which was an insult to the Ji Yu family's face. Moreover, although Ji Yu Changge couldn't cultivate, he still had a good reputation in the clan, so they naturally wanted to defend him. Who's the grandson that just spat? Pick up your spit, I'll make you pick it up. You think the Ji Yu family is trying to climb the social ladder and can't be looked down upon? Climbing the social ladder. Today, I'm going to beat you so hard you'll hang yourself from the southeast branch. As the younger members of both sides readied themselves with pugnacious zeal, Ji Yu Zan and the others showed no intention of stopping them. It wasn't appropriate for them to intervene, but a little competition between the youngsters was very normal. Just as things became increasingly absurd and the younger generation was prepared to duke it out, the doors to the council hall opened. Two figures walked out shoulder to shoulder.